Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Couch of the Dead. Today's episode is a good one. We are reviewing the brand new 2025 movie, Shelby Oaks.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two die-hard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead. All right, everybody. So, today we went out and saw the brand new movie that is in theaters right now, Shelby Oaks. And this movie has a lot of hype to it. It is directed by Chris Stuckmann, starring Sarah Dorn, Camille Sullivan, and Charlie Talbert.
Let's not forget, before we get to that, to the rest of the movie, let's just see what is the creepy cocktail of today. Today's episode, my creepy cocktail is plain water.
Boring. Mine is Green Mountain blueberry coffee because we're recording this episode at 3:15 on a Sunday afternoon, and not even we will drink then.
Yeah, we're not. We're not alcoholics. We're about to lose our first camera.
All right. Well, see, this is why we have two cameras recording.
We got two
We
cameras.
just got a brand new camera, and it's dead already. So
Yeah.
that's why we got two. So
Yeah.
we're learning. we're trying to get all our technology together.
We do want to give a shout out to Melissa Lincoln. She won the contest for naming our decomposing kitty cat, Necro Kitty. Congratulations, Melissa. You will get one of these fancy Couch of the Dead t-shirts. So I'll get with you this week and we'll get that set up.
And thank you very much to everybody who put their 2 cents in. We had a lot of really cool names, and if you saw the live video, it literally came down to a coin flip. It was that hard to decide. So thank you, everybody, and we're going to do some cool stuff like this in the future to get you guys interacting with us because we want to hear from you. This is what we do this for.
Yeah.
So
Back
going
to the
back
movie.
to Shelby Oaks.
I got a synopsis from IMDb. And this is what IMDb says. A woman's desperate search for her long-lost sister falls into obsession upon realizing that the imaginary demon that from their childhood may have been real. And in
So
case
if you just heard a scream, it's because the cat walked on my sound effects and hit play.
So, if you haven't met Daisy Blue, Daisy of the Dead, she is our alive kitty, and she likes to be in our podcast.
So yeah, this is really informal here, folks. So I'm going with this sans notes, by the way. So
Who?
sans, that means without.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, we took notes at the
because my
theater.
notes are over here, and I'm not going to go off camera to get them.
Oh, okay then. We took notes when we went to the theater earlier today, and it was very it was an experience. We have never done this before, so being in the theater in a pitch black, not being able to take hand notes and just being, just doing it by phone, Luckily, there was only another couple at the theater. So
And Vanessa's large popcorn turned into a medium popcorn when she spilled half of it.
yeah, I'm still sad about that.
So,
Well, let's get to it.
well,
Oh wait, no, okay. Let's talk. What did you think about the movie without any spoilers? We'll get to the spoilers later. How how'd you feel about the movie?
I thought it started off pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty good premise.
Mm-hmm.
Got you thinking, kind of, okay, what's going on here? Okay, I'm invested. It kind of gave it away a little too soon for me. It took a lot of the guesswork out of what I wanted to try and find out on my own. Held your hand a little bit, and
It did. Yes, I agree.
and that'll go into my rewatchability score at the end. But it was entertaining. I didn't regret spending my money on it. Because it was overall a good movie. It was entertaining. But if I were to watch it again, I wouldn't go to the theater. I would wait till it came out on streaming.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Started strong. To me, it fizzled out a little bit, but it was still entertaining.
I actually enjoyed it a little bit more than just entertaining. I thought it was well thought out. I thought it went into micro details that were hard to keep up with. Not like a super psychological kind of mind twisting type of movie, but enough that you have to keep attention. And I like those kind of movies. There were a couple of jump scares that were it worked. I think they worked. There was one big spoiler that was in the trailers that I wish I hadn't seen, and that's why I usually don't like seeing trailers of movies that you know that are said to be good. I refuse to watch any. Some trailers tend to give the movie away, the whole thing. I don't like that. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good. I will give my score at the end after spoilers.
Yeah, and I tried to temper my expectations because I knew the hype was
Mm-hmm.
pretty hypey.
Hey, we hyped it
This
up.
hype. And some movies can get ruined by the hype. I think Longlegs was a victim of that. I loved
I
Longlegs,
love long
but
legs.
it was so hyped up that I think some people thought that it was going to be something else. This was pretty hyped up,
Mm-hmm.
and again, like I said, I think it started out really strong. I was really invested in the beginning. Um,
I didn't think it was a flop.
no,
No.
that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just think the way it started out, to me, it just ended a little weaker for me than when it started out. So
Mhm.
I guess at this point we're going to tell you why we think this,
Oh,
and we are going to get into
spoilers.
spoilers.
Before we continue with the spoilers, where can we see this right now? It's in the theaters. I am assuming that it will be shortly in anywhere on streaming services because it's one of those. It's a neon movie, and neon movies tend to come out fairly soon on streaming devices. But if you do go see it at the movie theater, let us know in the comments below what you thought.
Send us a comment. Send us a little video
Oh yeah,
from the
absolutely.
theater. Let us know what you thought about it. And just a quick note on how quick things come out now. Um, some of the people listening to us are probably going to date themselves because they just thought the same thing I did, which was, man, I remember when I had to wait like a year and a half for something to come out at Blockbuster.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, on videotape.
Yeah.
So spoilers. So Shelby Oaks opens up in a found footage fashion
Mm-hmm.
with Mia, played by Camille Sullivan, being interviewed by what seems to be a documentary crew about the disappearance of her sister, Riley. And this is a pretty big case. Riley is one of the stars of a reality TV show called Paranormal Paranoia.
Yes, from YouTube. So this was, I guess, back when YouTube was still starting up.
Yes, 2008.
So this is I believe in today's day, 12 years after the disappearance of Riley.
Yep, Riley disappears along with the entire Paranormal Paranoia cast.
Right. I think there were a total of 4.
And after their disappearance, the channel, which wasn't struggling but wasn't doing super, really started to bump up in its views. And so a lot of people thought this was a publicity stunt, until they were missing for about 5 months. I think that's when it said.
Yeah.
About 5 months, and they were like, okay, something's going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to point out, oops. Okay. I didn't write my notes scene by scene like we usually do. That Riley from the beginning, they show this is a non-linear movie. A lot of what happens that you see on the screen, it goes from the video footage, the found footage from the team, the paranormal team, and then it also goes back from Riley's childhood, and then it touches on some other in and out events throughout their lives. But one thing that stuck out was that Riley always seemed like she had been experiencing some sort of weirdness since she was a young child, especially with like nightmares, especially a recurring nightmare that she at some point talked that it was about a man or someone outside of her window, her bedroom
Her
window.
second story window.
Right. The second, yeah. So we got that.
And so Mia starts elaborating that she's never stopped looking for Riley, and that everybody's kind of given up. But the last bit of Riley that we see is in the beginning of the movie, and she appears to be in some kind of cabin, and she's in there by herself. It's at night, and she hears commotion.
Well, she's in a room in a cabin.
Yeah. And opens the door, and that's the last we've seen of her.
So that's apparently part of, because when the cops were investigating the disappearance, they found one of the cameras, and this is the last footage that they were able to recover. So no one has seen anything else after that. At this time also, again, this is a non-linear movie, so we're gonna jump in and out of the whole thing. So I'm so sorry if we are not making sense. Currently, in like the present, Mia is being interviewed for a kind of like a documentary for the disappearance of her sister. So a lot of this information is being talked about by Mia, and then also being shown news clips from when they disappeared, and then they also show the footage that he just talked about.
Yeah, and so it's basically been determined that the last place they were at was the abandoned town of Shelby Oaks, and there's of course your obligatory creepy amusement park, and so that's where the authorities are searching, but they really don't turn up anything Um,
Right. So this Shelby Oak town um was at some point a busy town with a lot of people. Now it's just basically in ruins. There was an amusement park, but everything it seems to be like in the woods. That's where the paranormal team had gone into when they disappeared. Um,
so this is kind of wrapping up now the documentary portion. Um, the documentary the documentary filmmaker um, says, "Yeah, I just got to do a couple other things," and there's a knock at Mia's front door, and she opens the door. There's this big dude standing there, and he says, "She finally let me leave." And he proceeds to put a gun to his head and kapow. And
yes.
he offs himself right there on her front porch, and
Blood splatters on her.
lots of blood. And in his hand is a video cassette that says Shelby Oaks. And
So what does Mia do?
yeah.
She took, like I said, tape. The cops come in. They clean the scene. Everything. It's a big. Uh, but we see later on, like at night, Mia just holding the tape and puts it on the TV after her husband goes to bed. And in this tape, there is additional footage of the paranormal team. We are assuming that it might have come from the second camera that they never recovered.
Yeah, we see the rest of the paranormal team hearing strange noises. At one point, there's a porch. Dude goes, opens up the door to the porch, and I saw this one coming from a mile away.
Mm.
The jump scare, and then something grabs this guy and just rips him apart. And the
So,
oh, go ahead.
so just so that our viewers know, at this point, this is part of the found footage. At this point, the team is in this cabin that they found in the woods after they had been walking around in the woods. They go see the amusement
Yeah, well,
park.
yeah, because we were watching the videotape
Mm-hmm.
that Mia is watching. So
Right. But they also that was they go to that tree area where Riley etches her initials, hers and her sister's initial. That was before they go to the cabin. And at some point around there, Riley tells the team, after they do like a quick clip, she tells the team, I think we should leave. She looks like she didn't get a good feeling from being there, and like there was something wrong. So shortly after that, they go to the cabin, and this is what happens at the cabin. Um, the one of the guys gets ripped apart in the on the porch.
and at one point now, right after that, there's a shot of the camera on the floor, and a man grabs Riley. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know if he just abducts her or if he kills her, but he at least kind of assaults her and roughs her up a little bit, and the footage ends, and
With his face frozen on the camera.
yes, and so at this point Mia is like, okay, I still think she's alive,
Yeah.
because she does not turn this footage over to the police. She just gives the detective a picture
Mm-hmm.
of the man who assaulted Mia, and her husband is like, why didn't you turn that over to the police? And she's like, well, then they would have assumed she was dead.
And then they would have stopped.
The man in the picture was the same man who shot himself on her porch.
Right.
So she's like, the guy that may have killed her is dead anyway.
Mm-hmm.
The investigation is going to be over. We don't want it to be over, or I don't want it to be over, she says. I think she's still alive.
Right. Let's not forget that at this time they had already found the other three members of the team dead. So the only person that is not accounted for is Riley. The other three members were found dead. I don't know how long later, but so yeah. So now at least we know we have a face. The person that went to her house that killed himself is the same person that was last seen with Riley, and only she and her husband have this information. So I think at this point I feel like it gives her fuel to start up again, searching and investigating on her own to see what really happened. And she goes to talk to the police that gives her information about the man.
Well, it was they find out that he was in prison.
Mm-hmm.
And so again, my favorite part of the movie, just because I'm stupid. The warden of the prison is played by Mr. David Keith, who you may know from The Thing. He was Childs in The Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was also Rowdy Roddy Piper's sidekick in They Live, the movie in which Rowdy Roddy Piper came to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and he's all out of bubblegum. So David Keith is the warden of the prison and gives Mia a little background on this guy, that he was basically bad news.
Mm-hmm.
The prison burned down after a riot. But this guy, during the riot where the computers failed and opened up the doors in the prison, this guy never left his cell.
Yes.
And
he also gives the information that he is a man that was born and raised in Shelby Oaks. He was bad news in the town, and then goes to prison, was bad news in prison, and after the riot, didn't the prison burn down or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we know that this guy's into something. He's now becoming an integral character in the plot of this whole thing. And so now Mia is going to decide, I think we're at that point now, that she's going to decide to kind of take on this investigation herself.
Yes. Oh, we do find the name of this evil man. His name is Wilson Miles. And the reason this is important, it's because there were sketches on separate and different places around in a movie. One of the sketches were something that Mia was talking about into the documentary person, that she and her sister, when they used to go to the woods, in order for them to find a way home, they would etch their initials RM, Riley and Mia, so that they could find a way home. Well, we saw a couple of WM. So W like this.
Which meant, what do you mean?
Like that. So it almost looks a little bit cryptic.
Copyright the gang symbols.
So, yes, there is something about seeing these sketches around in a movie on different parts of the film on walls and trees. So anyway, she at some point, when she starts researching, she goes to the library, goes through newspaper articles.
The library?
Yes.
Like Homer Simpson would say.
And she sees some old newspaper clips of the disappearance and all of that, and she starts seeing a couple of times a shadow of what it looked like a demon. We get shadow demons. We recently saw another movie that had a lot of that. So
yeah, we're kind of in a creepy demon shadow phase.
Yes. definitely. But then she starts reading this book on demonology because now she's thinking, okay, this is getting a little
Demony.
creepy. Yeah,
Demony.
demony. Yes.
So she decides that she's going to go to the prison
Mm-hmm.
at night. And this is where I get to my section of stupid shit people do in horror movies that gets them in trouble that no normal person would ever freaking do.
Seriously, she goes to this abandoned
Prison
prison.
where she thinks a dude who may or may not be in league with Satan
Yeah.
was incarcerated in, and she's just gonna go walking around at night.
Yeah. By
And
herself. Didn't tell her husband or anyone.
yep. So another theme in this movie, there's a lot of dogs.
Oh yeah.
Lot of dogs with shifty eyes. And
Glowy
again,
eyes.
I guess from episode 1, The Omen had a lot of shifty-eyed dogs, and so this movie has a lot of shifty-eyed dogs as well.
Mhm.
And so she's looking around. She finds his prison cell
Right.
and sees some etchings on the wall. One of them is a heart with the initials R and M on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of other symbols that were kind of a little Blair Witchy to me.
Yeah, I thought about that too. However, what I thought also was they look like the W and M together, but sideways. So now we go from
East Side, West Side, McDonald's.
see what I have to deal with.
So she starts hearing, some
creepy stuff in
some
the
some
cell.
yeah, some creepy
Yeah.
sounds and stuff like that. And there's some random alarm going off in our house.
Okay, it's the washer.
Oh, okay. And we start talking about creepy demon sounds, and then just some random sound pops up in the house. And she comes out of the cell,
Well,
and
yes.
we know a
she-
jump scare is coming because of the music.
Yes.
And here is the creepy,
Evil.
glowy, evil-eyed, shifty-eyed demon dog.
Yeah, and so there was this. You can tell there was a presence in the cell with her because she could see her breath, and every time you can see your breath, it's either 0 degrees outside, or there's a demon.
It either means your furnace is broken or you have a demon in your house. There are no other
in
options.
this case, it was a demon. And she hears some weird noise that makes her kind of fall backwards onto the hallway, and that's when the dog that was a jump scare.
With shifty eyes.
Yeah, evil glowing eyes, and he's just right here, appears out of nowhere.
But again, it was a
barking.
jump scare I saw coming though.
Mm-hmm. But then we also see some sort of weird, unhuman creature's arm holding the dog. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It was really quick.
Yeah, but
You-
she books it.
Yep. So she runs out. So now this woman who
Oh.
made the poor decision to go to the abandoned satanic prison at night decides, I'm just not going to go home and call it a day.
No.
She gets in her freaking truck and she drives out to the abandoned Shelby Oaks amusement park. And I'm just thinking, man, just start fresh in the morning. Like, you almost got killed by a demon dog, and just go home.
Yeah, why not do it during the daylight? What the heck was that?
Well, because reasons.
Didn't she poop her pants enough?
Reasons.
Yikes. So, anyway, she said that amusement park thing, and she's looking at where her sister had etched RM on the tree. And then she looks around, and what do you see? It's the glowy eye evil dog. However, this time
His eyes weren't so shifty this time.
no, he wasn't barking at her viciously. He kind of stood there waiting for her, turn around, and we all know what that
That meant
for.
Timmy was stuck in the well.
Yeah. So she follows. Obviously, the dog was leading her out. somewhere. And of course, why not trust a dog that almost killed you before?
Because reasons.
Yeah. So then she finds this cabin in the woods. Not that cabin.
Not the cabin in the
No.
woods. And the lights are on, so you know somebody's home.
Someone's home.
And
um, there's a lady that comes outside of the cabin, and she had no face. To me,
well, she was just I was expecting more from that because during the whole conversation between this woman whose name is Norma and Mia, you don't see her face. So the first thing I'm thinking is this woman real? Is she something else? But it just turns out that she's just an old lady.
Yeah, I honestly thought her face.
She invites her into the cabin. So creepy old lady.
Yeah.
Invites Mia into the cabin.
In the middle of nowhere.
And Mia, who just escaped from the abandoned prison and then drove at night to the abandoned amusement park, now follows a stranger into a semi-abandoned cabin out in the middle of the woods. So
definitely.
great decision number 3.
Yeah, she's going for it. The first thing we see when she starts walking into the house is mold, or what it looked like. I'm not a mold specialist.
She needs some bleach in her life.
But it was all running up and down her walls and everything. So obviously it is like an abandoned place.
Yes, it was in a severe state of
decay,
disrepair.
Yeah. So she goes in, and it feels very awkward, but the lady seems kind of inviting.
And the one little bit of comic relief. Now, there was only 3 other people in the theater with us, but the one little bit of comic relief that I really liked in this movie was this is a high pressure, very tense, very scary situation, and the old lady just goes over to the table and picks up a box and goes, "You want some crackers?" I actually thought that was pretty funny, and I'm surprised I didn't hear people chuckle because I thought it was kind of funny. And this old lady said, "Hey, you want some crackers?"
Well, honestly, I would have expected the crackers to be full of maggots or something.
The crackers come back into play.
Oh yeah,
because Mia's like, "Nah, I'm good." You know, them saltines, they just give me dry mouth.
So they're standing there and they're kind of talking, and there is what it sounds like movement upstairs. And obviously, up to this point, Mia has been kind of looking around the house and kind of assessing.
She asks her if she lives alone.
Yes. And obviously, the lady said, she said no. She says, "I live with my son," which immediately makes you think, okay, well, who else other than could have been Wilson Miles?
And she says the line, "He's right behind you."
Oh God!
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna be but he's dead.
Mia turns around and there's a picture on the wall, and it's Norma and her son, Wilson Miles. So this is the cabin he grew up in.
But you can see that Mia is a little bit like curious, and she kind of wants to go upstairs. So she turns to the old lady and she goes, "You know what?"
She says, "Yeah, I think I'll take them crackers now."
Yeah. And obviously, we know that she's gonna snoop. This is when she finds this album. As she was about to go up the steps, she finds this like picture album, and of course, stopped her in her tracks and opens it
and sees a bunch of pictures of her sister. One of them is what looks like some kind of woodland pagan wedding dress. Another one
with Wilson.
Yes, with Mr. Miles. And another one is where she is very, very pregnant.
Yeah.
And so we know at some point these people got a hold of Riley, and whether you don't know right now whether it's against her will or not, but you assume it is. They got her pregat. And
then the pictures start getting darker and darker, where she's wearing some pictures where she was pregnant, and then some pictures where she was pregnant with blood on her gown, and then some pictures without the belly and still blood, and
Pregnant.
then and then you saw pictures of, it was like they were recording this whole thing where you see
Chronologically.
Wilson digging in the earth in front of their houses, and then pregnant pictures again, and then more pictures on like digging, and then all of a sudden you see a picture of the front dirt area with like sticks, what we assume would be grave markers with the symbols like that,
With the McDonald's symbols.
sideways. So yeah, we get the whole point in just those pictures. Um,
You get the, well, in it's been 12 years that Riley has been basically being bred.
yeah, and you can see in the pictures the deterioration of Riley physical. She looks worse and worse by the pictures,
She hasn't
and
showered in a while.
so now I'm starting to think, okay, they have been keeping her for breeding, and all the babies either have been killed or haven't survived. So, okay, you got my attention.
So at this point, Norma comes in with her snacker crackers, and Mia turns around and just yells and says, "Where is she? Where the bleep is she?" And so instead of Norma just going like, "I don't know what you're talking about," or she's like, "Oh," and she reaches down and flips back a rug, and there's a door to basically a root cellar. And so we're right on the precipice of super bad decision number 4, and
Yes.
where she's like, she's down here. So
Coming.
Norma opens the door, walks down. She's like, "You can come on down."
Mhm.
So at least to her credit, Mia like lifted a knife from the kitchen. And then again leads to super bad decision number 5. But super bad decision number 4 is she follows Norma down, and it's a pretty big cellar.
Yeah.
And
Creepy. It looks like it's on the ground.
well,
Yeah.
it probably was a root cellar. It was but at not with a cage.
Yeah.
And then we find basically what is a cage, and we find the elusive Riley. And so again, in a little bit of foreshadowing, Mia, I'm gonna go bad decision number 5 and bad decision number 6. She puts the knife down. The keys to the cage are hanging right next to the door.
Right there.
And I'm kind of like, man, if I had somebody locked away, I would not have the keys in arm's length of the freaking cage of the door.
No. But it's been 12 years. I'm thinking maybe she's just, where is she going to go? What is she going to do? They have her.
Outside?
No, I know.
So Mia unlocks the door, gets her sister out, and she's like, "We got to get out of here." Leaves the knife on the ground. So bad decision number 6. And as they're running up the steps, I do have to say one of the coolest shots of the movie is when they turn around and they see Norma standing in the hallway that's leading up to the steps, and she's got some pretty shifty glowing eyes.
They're very glowing.
And there's a very large, hulking, shadowy figure standing behind
It's a demon.
her. So we know at this point now, obviously, Norma is supernatural in some respect.
Right. She's been possessed basically by this demon, but not in your typical possession. She's been
Just kind of manipulated.
Yeah, like a puppet. So she's a vessel, she's a puppet. But that was a really cool shot. I think it was it worked. It worked for me.
Yeah, that was a cool shot.
So they're on their way out. They're like, she's trying to get Riley out the door, and right before they get out the door, Riley screams and like, no, like she turns back, and they start hearing baby sounds, baby cryings, if you will. So Riley, the sister, books it upstairs, and then Mia follows behind. And once they get up to the second floor, they see what it looks like a ritual happening. Norma, the old lady, she is
Well, somehow she got from the basement
yes,
to
they
the
did open.
second floor without anybody knowing because Riley was standing. They were in the living room, and so she could have supernaturaled herself
Well, the
there.
demon might have opened the door.
I'm not gonna necessarily call that a plot hole because
No,
she
they
just
look at the floor thing and it was open. So you know that obviously it got open somehow.
yeah.
You missed that or not? You
No.
saw
I
that.
saw that, but I didn't see then Norma like go through the living room
Well,
and go
no,
upstairs
no. I'm sure they got there
because
supernaturally.
reasons.
Yeah. So now she's up there and she's cutting her arm wide open, spilling blood all over what we could assume is a baby because there's like a crib thingy.
Yep, and she's summoning this demon.
Yes, it does have a name. They did call it
Yeah, I think it's Dwayne.
no. No, it starts with a T because they mentioned it earlier in the movie.
Toonses.
No,
All hail Toonses.
no. But so they get
Thackeray.
to her. They get to her. No, Norma gets the blood all over this weird picture area on the wall where there's a heart and there's pictures of Riley and Mia.
Well,
and
which is really odd because you could understand there being pictures of Riley because you're assuming Riley is this baby's mother.
I
But
don't
now
know
they
why
have
Mia was
pictures
there.
of Mia all over the place, and we find out why.
Yes, we find out
but,
why.
But
She smears blood all over that area before she collapses.
before she just poof,
Yeah.
just pretty
So
anticlimactically.
For all we could assume, the ritual didn't go through because they were able to get back to look at the baby in the crib. The baby looked fine, and
Well, through all their trauma, Mia's like, "Oh, what a cute baby!"
yeah.
Like I don't see anything wrong with this.
Well, there was some talk in the movie, and we didn't cover this earlier, but there was some talk in the movie about Mia and her husband not being able to conceive for a while, and then they kind of just gave up after the disappearance of her sister.
Which, if you put two and two together, could have been very intentional since they apparently knew about Mia and they could have made it supernaturally impossible for them to have children.
Yeah.
So that this could all come into play. That's what I got out of that.
Yeah.
But in bad decision number 8, I think that's what we're up to. They
take the baby.
Just take the baby.
Mm-hmm. Now we cut to
and are just like raising it. Like, okay, I could see maybe Mia wanting to raise this baby because it's basically her niece or nephew.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. But it just it makes a lot of leaps, and I get it. You assume they called the police.
Right, because the next time we see the scene is now Mia is in a hospital, and obviously she has a lot of wounds. She looks like she's been through 12 years of torture, and for some reason, it may be a Snickers bar. So eventually they go back to Mia's house, and the documentary lady is there, and there's trying to tie things up for the documentary now that Riley has been found. And for some reason, Riley is already out of the hospital and in the care of Mia, which I thought that was a little bit unbelievable.
Well, she might have just been malnourished and, just needed some $4,000 bags of salt water.
She did go through 12 years of pregnant.
Yeah.
Probably on and off until one finally survived.
Yeah. And so Mia, I'm not going to call it bad decision number 9, but she leaves Riley alone with the baby.
The baby.
And she's down in the parking lot talking to the documentary filmmaker, And they're like, well, we just got a couple things to edit. This is going to wrap this whole thing up in a nice bow. And flashback to the bedroom. And Riley's got a pillow and she's walking towards the baby. And so at that point that I don't think Riley was just insane. She knew something because obviously she was involved with the whole thing. And Mia comes up just in time. And Riley says it has to die.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to smother this baby.
And they get into it.
Struggle ensues. And Mia pushes Riley out the window. And
through the window.
She's like Irma Gerd. And
she's looking out over the window where Riley is. And Riley is not completely dead. She's dislocated all her bones, probably.
Which one does in a 2 or 3 story fall.
Yes. So what happens in the meantime? I mean, if I was Mia, I would have ran downstairs and tried to save her. But no, let's keep watching to see what happens out the window. 3 of the most vicious, glowy eyes,
shifty eyed
demon dogs come and basically rip her apart, just chewing on her. And obviously she's doesn't make it. I think she's dead.
And at this point, the camera shoots back up to Mia standing in the window, and we see the hulking, glowy-eyed figure that was standing behind Norma.
It's a demon.
It was a demon.
Yeah, it was.
And
it was massive.
Yeah, and it puts his hand on her shoulder, and
she gets glowy eyes.
End scene. So
she screams bloody hell.
So at this point, you kind of, it's left a little bit open to interpretation, but I think they kept trying to breed Riley because they needed a proper vessel for this incubus that they were trying to summon.
They did keep referring to it as incubus.
It was an incubus. It wasn't a goddamn succubus. And so it's implied now that Mia is going to be the caretaker of this
devil baby.
Demon incubus baby.
It was a cute baby.
And yeah, they all are until they get older and then they turn evil. And which is why I go back to the attic in the cabin, why there were pictures of Mia, because I think this whole thing was planned from day one.
To get to Mia to be the one.
There was a lot of stuff in the plot that I thought was pretty good like that, you know, where they tied in with this family having supernatural ties from when Riley was really little. I think they did a good job tying stuff in. I think, and this is going to sound bad when I say it, but for the casual horror fan, I think this is going to be a scary,
oh yeah, for sure,
entertaining movie. For someone like me or Vanessa, who just, it's got to be the most screwed up, demented movie for us to even go, huh? You know, I don't think it's a particularly scary movie. It was interesting.
It was. I would put it in the background.
I was hoping it kind of led me in a little bit of a different direction, but I don't think the plot was derivative. I don't think it was stale. I just don't know what direction I wanted to be led, but it wasn't that one.
I will say there were some negative comments I saw prior to watching the movie. Just negative comments online, talking about, oh, this is just another found footage, which to me, a found footage is the entire movie is a found footage.
It was interwoven.
Yes, and I thought that was
with what was I guess a quote unquote real time movie.
And for those found footage haters, this was not one of those shaky camera found footages at all. Found footage to me is a lot like the shaky camera Blair Witch. I mean, this is, you know, Blair Witch 101, found footage 101. It's all shaky camera, you know, this was not it. So I think for those people who were talking about negative about this movie, it's you're not they're not really seeing the whole picture. But anyway, we liked it. I think we just don't think it was out there to be one of the best. So let's get to scores.
Okay, so every time we do scores, we try and do something a little fun, and we're going to score the movie in units that are based
Of
off
the
of
movie.
something that has to do with the movie.
Hmm. We
So
have three categories.
we have three categories that are going to be scored by Vanessa as
Glowy eyes.
glowy eyes, and I don't remember what mine were gonna
Evil
be.
dogs.
We'll do evil dogs.
The categories are plot. So, what did you think of the plot?
I thought it was pretty original.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, I didn't necessarily like the direction it led me, but I thought the actual the plot was pretty original.
Hmm.
There were a couple of little holes, and again, you got to suspend your disbelief when you're watching a horror movie. But I would like to think that what the characters do makes some kind of logical sense within that universe. And I joked about bad decisions. Most horror movies are horror movies because people make bad decisions.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have
Um,
horror movies.
so again, don't think it was great, but it was pretty original. So I'm giving it a 3 out of 5.
I will also give it a three glowy eyes out of five, mainly because I feel that there was a lot of time spent on Mia, and I think they should have been more time spent on developing the story of the demonic entity, and yeah, I feel there was a lack of that. I there was a couple of holes that weren't filled by the end of the movie. I think maybe the movie could have been a little bit longer, if anything, just to be able to fill all those. But I'm okay. Sometimes it's fine not to have a nicely tied. So, yeah, I give it 3 out of 5. And then our next category is
Is acting
acting and
and directing,
directing.
and I think again, I think the acting was okay. Some pretty solid performances. Um, I really didn't think there were any weak characters in it, so I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 for acting. It was a well acted movie.
So for acting, I was a little disappointed in Riley. I don't think she was believable. I think Mia did an amazing job. Um, she definitely made me believe everything that she said, everything that she emoted. But Riley was really hard for me to believe. So the directing was really good, and I believe that this is Mark Stuckmann's director
Directorial.
directorial debut.
Yep.
So I think he did a really good job. I've heard of him just in the last couple of days. Um, I believe it's something to do with him being a YouTuber more than, or a YouTube kind of a filmmaker. So kudos to him, especially since the movie got picked up by Neon. So the directing was good. The acting lacked a little bit. So for that reason, I will give this a 3 out of 5 glowing eyes.
Okay, so I hope you're keeping track of your score. I'm using fingers.
Right here.
So the last category is rewatchability,
Mm-hmm.
and rewatchability to me means that you can watch this movie a couple times after the initial viewing, pick up on clues and cues that you may have not seen that will still enhance your watching experience again, or it's just a really good entertaining movie that you just want to put something on and you maybe don't want to think about it too much. You just want to have a drink and have some popcorn and watch a fun movie. That being said, for rewatchability, I'm giving this a 1.
Ooh.
Not that doesn't mean the movie was bad. That just means that everything was addressed, everything was wrapped up. My initial curiosity about where is this going was answered. So I give a lot of really good movies a low score for rewatchability because even if it's a slow burn, edge of your seat thriller, if everything's wrapped up again, well, if I watch that again and there's nothing else to really pick up on and they kind of answer every question, it's hard for me to rewatch a slow burn movie when I know what's going to happen and there's nothing else for me to look for.
I don't think it was a slow burn as much.
No, but it took a while to unfold.
Yeah, it's true. And then once it unfolded, kind of went fast.
There were some cool, faster paced things woven in and out. The pacing wasn't slow.
No.
But to kind of get to where they wanted to get you, it was a little bit of you had to be invested in it.
Yeah. So I gave mine a 2 out of 5 glowing eyes, and a lot of the same reasons. I would still put it on if I had nothing else to watch, and I kind of wanted to see if I could pick out any more shadow demons throughout the movie, but that's it. Like, that's the main reason I would give it a 2 out of 5. I like demon shadows. So
Okay, so if you've been keeping track, what's your final score?
So my final score is 8 glowing eyes. Am I right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I think so. You guys can correct her in the comments if she's wrong. Or me.
So 8 out of 15. That's a pretty low score for what we have been doing so far.
It's average.
I mean, it is average. It wasn't a bad movie.
And that's my score too. Is an 8. There was nothing in this movie that made me go like, wow, this is just awesome. But there was also nothing in this movie that made me go, oh, this thing's a hot steaming pile of crap.
I enjoyed it. It was entertaining.
Yes, it was. It was entertaining. I didn't regret. I didn't regret. You know, I didn't leave the theater going, boy, that's 2 hours I'll never get back.
Yeah, no. It wasn't like
so
that.
it wasn't
good.
like that. But again, we're tough critics.
Pre-seasoned.
Probably me more than you. There's a lot of movies you think are really entertaining. I'm like, that
is true.
sucked.
But vice versa. I mean, there's a lot of
yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in the coming weeks and months and hopefully years about how our tastes vary when it comes to genres of horror, which there are millions. So with that being said, I would say if you're thinking about going to see it in the theaters, go see it in the theaters. But if you're hesitant, just wait till it comes out on streaming.
I'm sure it'll be at some point on Peacock, or maybe not Netflix, maybe HBO.
Netflix.
Anyway, we have a little game, and this time it's just him asking me, and we'll see what happens.
So if you're in the listening audience or the viewing audience right now and you remember the game Card Sharks, this is Rotten Tomatoes Card Sharks. And we're going to stick with the found footage genre because this was kind of billed as a found footage movie. And as we know, the greatest quote-unquote found footage movie ever is the Blair Witch Project.
I wouldn't say the greatest. I would say it's probably what put it out there
well,
on the map.
It brought it, yes. It put it on the map. It's kind of the standard. So what we're going to do is we're looking at Rotten Tomatoes scores.
I can't see.
And the Rotten Tomatoes score for the Blair Witch Project is 86%. which is really good.
Mm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start naming a couple of other found footage horror movies, and Vanessa is going to have to guess whether that movie's Rotten Tomatoes score was higher or lower
You can do
than
that at home too.
86%. So the first one we're going to start with is Paranormal Activity. Is Paranormal Activity's Rotten Tomatoes score higher or lower? And you guys in the audience can guess right along with her.
I am going to say you're talking about the first one.
Yes, Paranormal Activity, the first
I want
one.
to say it's higher.
You are wrong. It is lower. It's 82%.
Oh, okay. Well, not so bad.
No,
Okay.
still a good score, but lower.
Hmm.
Okay. So we are going to go with, let's see. Okay. Late Night with the Devil.
Excuse you, that is not a found
Yes,
footage.
yes, it is. Because in the very beginning of the movie, they are like, this is footage that was recovered from this. So technically, yes, it is a found footage movie. Is Late Night with the Devil have a higher or lower score than 86%?
Oh, gosh. I loved that movie, but I know that it wasn't as popular. A lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was a great movie. I'm going to say lower.
Ooh, you are 0 for 2.
Really?
Late Night with the Devil is a 97%.
I mean,
Oh, it was a
sad.
great movie.
I'm sad that I didn't guess it right, but that's a good score. I really
Okay,
like that movie.
here we go. Another pretty big found footage movie, Cloverfield.
Oh,
Cloverfield higher or lower than 86%?
I'm gonna guess higher. It was such a big hype.
Man, you suck at
Oh
this.
my god!
78%.
Ah.
Still really good scores. But yes,
0
lower.
out of 4. What is it? 3.
You're 0 for
Can't
4.
even.
Okay.
I'm not even drinking.
Here's a tough one. Okay. The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Ooh, that has to be
Higher
higher.
or lower than 86%?
Has to be higher.
You are correct. 92%.
Nice, girls. I mean, boys too. If you have not seen that movie, The Taking of Deborah Logan, great movie, found footage. Not gonna spoil it. Maybe we'll do it here. We'll review it at some point. But it was a great movie. Loved it.
Okay.
I got 1 point.
So we're going to do 2 more. And let me try and find a good one. Okay. Here was a good one. One of my favorites, The Last Exorcism. Higher or lower than 86%?
I'm gonna say lower.
You are correct. 71%.
2 out of what? 5?
And the last one, the movie we just reviewed, Shelby Oaks. Is Shelby Oaks higher or lower than 86%?
Oh, there have been so much hype for this movie. Higher.
Lower.
Ooh.
59%.
That's bad.
So
That's bad.
we're going to try and come up with a couple of cool games like this that you guys can play along at home with us. And,
let us know how you did in the comments.
Yeah. Also, let us know some of your favorite found footage horror movies. We're always going to be looking for stuff to review.
Give us your suggestions, what you want to see. We're probably going to be watching some movies this week so that we can get another episode for you for next week.
Yep. We're the plan is by Wednesdays
Mm-hmm.
to have our episodes out. We'll record on the weekends. Do our editing, which is a learning process. We're getting better at it. And so if we have technical glitches along the way, we apologize, but we're going to get them straightened out. It's only our second episode. So
Oh,
we
so
Oh,
sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Quick announcements. We are trying to have a little fun on Halloween night and maybe go live for our whole 15 subscribers.
It's going to be all over the place, though. It's going to be.
Yes, it will be on YouTube and it'll be a live broadcast, but it should be also on Facebook, and then we'll upload it to the rest of our social medias.
Yep, we're gonna go live, just to hang out with you guys on Halloween. So if you guys want to talk to us through the comments,
Oh yeah,
we welcome that. We'll try and answer any of your questions.
we will try to dress up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. So shout out to everyone again who named our Necro Kitty. We really
Kitty.
appreciate that. We're going to get you your T-shirt, and we are going to try and do some other contests as we go along, get everybody involved. We love you guys. We thank you for your support. Like us, subscribe, hit that notification bell on YouTube if you want to be notified for future episodes.
Also,
And check us
listen
out
to-
on Apple and Spotify if you just want to listen to us. If our faces repulse you, that's fine. We don't care. Just listen to us anyway. So thank you very much. Good evening. And again, we love you guys and thank you. And we are out.